This is a certified hood classic.
Hey now.
It reminds me, did you the return of Howard to FM radio yesterday? Did you listen to it?
I didn't know that was happening.
I'll have to send you a link.
What station was he on?
I forget the dude's name. He's been on radio for a million years. No, it wasn't that one.
Wasn't the cat? I don't know.
All rise, order in the court. It's myself, Credence, of course, Rick, and Tran here. Oh, and Judge also. Good.
Yeah, your good friend Rick here. Good to see everybody.
We're watching court.
Shout out to everybody. Shout out to all our friends. Look, I'm going to say this, Creed. I'll go ahead and just say this.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow on our channel, we will have all new videos from Judge DeSanto. Brand new, happening this week. We'll be hopefully able to provide you with new Judge DeSanto every other day or so. We'll do it, but we will now have a huge archive of great moments from Judge DeSanto. That's right. You can't find her on the YouTubes. Don't worry. We're going to bring it to you.
Yeah, I was going to say, those of you are not familiar, she actually lost her YouTube. Lost it. Gone.
Yeah.
Erased.
Not getting it back. Too many nudities up on the screen. Too many times, Daddy. But that's all right.
That's it. Like what we had witnessed one time, which it's just
it happened again, and after that, that's when she lost it. So, and I even talked to my YouTube manager to try to get her channel back, and they said probably not going to happen. So until she does come back,
the courtroom, for God's sake.
That's what I said. But it's still just a YouTube channel, as my Leather and Lashes. She lives. So look forward to tomorrow. Some brand new, hot off the presses,
exclusive
Judge DeSanto coming your way.
Yeah, one of my faves. All right, so today here on We Got a Case, what are we doing?
Oh, it's the old TPOs, Creed. Matter of fact, the trans were here. Remember the trans lady? They were having some sort of thing where they were doing photography with it'd make it look like you were being chased by a dinosaur or something, and going back to the future or something like that. Yeah. We won't be watching them because they have an interpreter, but we will see a familiar face here in a second. Another returning case that needed to be put off. So we're going to see that, as well as another one where a woman is afraid of another woman.
Robert, I just read that in the Goonies, the hey, you guys. That's how I just read that.
That's the way you'd read it, man.
Made me smile. All right, let's jump into some court.
This is case 24-60.
Same, I've missed her.
Hello.
I'm watching her right now, as a matter of fact.
Continued this case.
Sorry, I don't have a thing that goes, happy anniversary. That's going to happen.
Happy anniversary. Remember this guy, right? Before he was in a cocoon or something. We try to figure out a cargo ship container or something, but now he's out loose as a goose.
Hey, Chuck.
Because Mr. Taylor had needed some time to respond. And it looks like you did file some responses late last week, so we've received those and had an opportunity to review them. So
nice, sir.
Mr. Ballou, are you ready to go ahead with your hearing?
I believe yes.
Okay. And Mr. Taylor, are you ready to?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Then before we start, can I have you both raise your right hands, please? And do you each swear that the testimony you give in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, then, Mr. Ballou, as the petitioner, you get to go first, so you can go ahead and present your case. And keep in mind that everything that you've previously written or filed in this case is already.
Very quickly, let me pause that. You just reminded me, brilliant disguise. I used to watch a lot of the Alree County, which Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I used to watch their board meetings all the time. I haven't since I moved up here, but I came across a new YouTube channel of people that are living in Pigeon Forge, and they bought a house a couple of years ago, and it's an what do you call that, imminent domain situation where all of a sudden they when they bought this house, which was going to be a rental, Pigeon Forge, Great Smoky Mountains in Tennessee, and they never disclosed the fact that the house is going to be in the land, gone, because of a new campground that they're building, and they're making a road go right through their house. They never disclosed this. The mayor of Pigeon Forge lives above them. Like, he looks down on their property and watched them for 7 months completely gut the house and remodel the entire house and the property, getting it ready. It's a crazy ass story. And I kind of want to watch, maybe Friday we'll watch a little snippet of it and talk a little bit about it, because that's best for like members only for main channel. But very interesting story. And it's all like happening now, like as far as their the county meetings and stuff. Sorry, you just reminded me, brilliant. I watched through all of those videos last night. It was like a whole rabbit hole thing, but very interesting, because you imagine that happens to you.
Oh, the amount of money they're out of, it's going to ruin them.
But there's a lot of shady stuff with this campground as far as like who owns it and why they're moving the road. It's just crazy. Anyways, all right, back to court. Sorry.
For the record, go ahead, sir.
I'm filing this because ending the friendship that was no longer conducive to both of us. I have since then been my house, my place of work has been intruded upon, and all I've asked of Mr. Taylor is to just drop everything and just leave me and my family alone.
Just leave me alone. Not you.
I'm tired of my parents being stressed out by the fact that some of the actions that has happened, presented with evidence presented, being followed, showed up at places of work, school, other activities, and all I want and have asked since then is to just leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
And that's pretty much all I would want is just no more.
Why is he chasing this guy
anymore?
I don't know, and he seems very unsure about things, or very timid, maybe.
Scared almost. Like, I just want him to leave us alone. He's following me and my family around, and I just want him to leave us alone. Why is he doing this? I mean,
there has to be a beginning, right? There has to be something that had happened, so maybe he doesn't want us to know that part. Maybe
it's been incredibly stressful for again me and my family, and
it's crazy.
I'm tired of wondering if they're going to be showing up at my place of work or wherever else I am. That's essentially it. I just wanted to drop it.
Did the judge just basically just? Did I hear that right? That was basically his.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but okay, gotcha. Maybe this cat in the.
I do understand the nature of your request. So if there isn't anything further you want to add, I'll hear from Mr. Taylor and make a decision. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, Casey. Your overwhelming evidence.
Yeah, right.
My anxiety's a little off the board today, so I'll try the best I can.
Can't do worse than the last guy.
Right.
I was just a little confused with Mr. Wu's thoughts when he's filling out the petition with.
I'm glad that he's well spoken as well. This is a battle between two very well spoken people, so watch out. Like did he just eat like the golden buffet? Was he just
anxiety's a little high right now. Just need a minute. Give me a second to get it together.
It's leave Casey alone. Just leave him alone.
This guy.
God almighty.
He said he marked the part, about the firearms and like not to take them away or prevent me from getting more. I mean, if someone was really like worried, wouldn't they like say yes on that? And another one there. My thoughts are all over the board. I'm sorry.
Is he waving to him? Or?
And clearly, he marked his friends, and clearly it was more than friends. He does a lot of puts them in front of you and pull it away. Puts them in front of you and pull it away. For instance, 4 to 6 weeks before he decided it was over, he did a long speech when we were driving around his mom's truck about how if something ever happened, he had never walked completely out of my life. He'd always be some sort of a friend of some sort.
Gary.
Setting everything up for this day.
So they're lovers, former lovers. Got it.
I also noticed on his petition
I
it says that
kind of thought that in the beginning too, maybe. That might be what this is, or some sort of an arrangement, maybe, because I mean this dude's I think a lot older than I think. Maybe I could
And he just doesn't age well. Maybe he's like Will Brown. He said he seemed like he was upset because the dude had put the thing that they were just friends.
Yes.
He doesn't like that. So I thought maybe like Casey had like a family and he was messing with the family, but it seems like maybe I don't know.
God damn it. Oh, Bobcat.
Pretty close.
Oh, that's a real Bobcat. That's not Goldway. Close enough.
he had to seek counseling for the mental anguish and whatnot. And
Anguish.
his counseling was started before that, and I submitted a text where we were talking about it to prove that it was before that. So it's not because of the day we broke up. It's because he has a lot of his own stuff going on. We both have a lot of our own stuff going on.
Bye, Chris.
And we kind of understood each other.
Take care, Chris.
And then like he's learned it all to use it against me. He has multiple profiles online. He says I'm the one with multiple profiles and harassing him. He has 8 that I know of that are his, and I'm sure there's a couple more. And that's just in one platform website.
I think so.
He wants his privacy to be left alone. We're using a platform website that's map based. It shows your picture and icon on a literal map of where you are.
So we thinking maybe a hookup app, maybe. I mean, if you're location based and it shows on a map where you're at.
I thought he was going to tell us he had like a lot of profiles. Like one was like
He was catfishing or something.
Casey the Dongster, or Big Bag Casey, or Rick the Court Watcher.
Diva, we're trying to follow and we're making the best of it. It's the best we could do.
Former lovers. They
maybe
broke up.
allegedly. We're trying to follow along.
Casey needed therapy, he claims, after dating him. So I don't know. I don't know how it went.
All right, here's my guess, just off of what we've assumed already. Met on a hookup app. Somebody wanted more of something, and another wanted to just walk away.
Is it me, or does Casey look like that? My name is Elephant Boy.
I can definitely see that. Yes, Jesus Christ.
And it shows everybody where you are. So I don't understand how I'm seeking him out and stalking him, and we're both doing the same thing. We're on the site to find somebody, and our icons are shown where we are on a map.
Yeah,
I don't understand. You can't go on the site to try and find somebody and not see each other. This gay community is very small. Olympia, it's not real big.
Or
I end up
Mikey.
with the same people in and out and back and forth. His ex's roommate picked me up downtown and took me back to his apartment, not knowing that he was at his ex's house that night. And then,
whoa, stop. So he does a hookup. The guy up there, the bald older man, hooks up with somebody that turns out to be his roommate.
Mm-hmm.
So he's
Okay. We're hearing more and more.
Wow, there is a lot of sex, and I mean, it might be a small community, but it sounds like everybody's banging everybody.
Hector, it's so funny that you said that because it just reminded me, Liardi, the one-man party, Madley, who we used to work with at Rock 105. It popped up on the side of the screen one time. It's a hot blonde with everything, and he started chatting with her. And things went a little bit weird, and he came to B-Shop and I with questions. Do you think this girl's real?
Where she live? Beulahville.
Yeah, right. There are 3 girls in Beulahville waiting to meet you.
They're all smoking hot too.
I'll never forget that. I think she's fake. Maybe Matt. Maybe. Then he drove his damn Jeep right into a mailbox when he was backing out.
We ran into each other. Like,
He
this
was
is
mad.
happen. It's inevitable. And I'm willing to be civil and a girl, and like, hey.
Speaking of grinder apps, Crass.
Crass. Every time I watch wrestling, all I think is Crass.
Yeah, you've ruined wrestling now for a
I get so sad every time I watch it, and I'm like,
you just can't watch him.
Crass can't watch him finish the story.
It's just not the same.
Damn it, it's just not the same. It is.
Right?
It's sad.
Anytime and every time I have wound up somewhere where Mr. Blue is, he goes ballistic and screams and yells at me. But I'm the one who's being crazy, according to Mr. Blue. Friends have said I should file on him, including Tuckman. It's like, I'm trying to not ruin things. He knows with this on my record, I'll lose my career. He has threatened me multiple times during our relationship, friend or not, whatever he wants to call it. If I didn't do something or if I did something a certain way.
Friend or not, whatever he wants to call it. Mm-hmm.
Do you think maybe? We make jokes, but do you think this is Casey's way of keeping him away from people he might be interested in trying to get with too? Like, oh, well, you can't come to this. I mean, how many clubs and things can there possibly be?
Oh, it's a small community.
It's a small community, you know.
Agua, I hope that old Baloo gets to say something because he keeps raising his hand. By now, he should know it's this dude's turn. Just wait.
Yeah, you had your turn, and you were just nonsensical rambling.
He'd either file APS on me or he would call the police on me. And like the night at the ex's house, and he ripped my keys out of my hand, pried my door open to my car. He has a set of my house keys. I had to get a locksmith in it down so I could get in my house. So I'm paying for it. It all started it, but okay. Because everything he's accused me of, he's doing to me. Apparently, I care more than him, and I want him to be happy. I want him to have a good life. I want him to go on, but we are going to cross paths. We are going to eventually, it's going to happen again.
Yes.
And if he gets his order, how, I could turn around and get one too, and then we both can't go anywhere. We can't do anything. Like, can't we adults get along and just like, I have a whole bunch of stuff written here. I could read it all. It just seems silly and ridiculous to me, Hunter.
Well, obviously, this is a little bit of a difficult and fraught situation for both of you. It's obviously, as far as I can see here, causing both of you a pretty good deal of stress. But the way I need to look at this is whether or not, Mr. Blue is the petitioner. So I need to look at whether or not he has established that he's entitled to an order for any of the various bases that there are to get one.
Could somebody, just one of our fine constables, help out Mama, please? It's difficult if you have Apple, or I guess you got to do it on a computer, right?
And I complained today to Google. I had a Google meeting today with and did a survey on something really pretty cool if they do it. Something pretty cool that will benefit like all the members and stuff.
And when he says Google, remember YouTube is owned
by Google.
Including stalking, which I think is the one that he had identified that he was after.
Rosie Jakes, welcome.
So I have to look at the facts as alleged by both of you, the credibility determination, and consider whether or not what Mr. Blue is alleging has occurred here would constitute stalking. And, Mr. Taylor, you point out, and I think reasonably that, it's a small community here in Olympia. People are going to run into each other. That's, not anything that only happens if somebody's being stalked. That's just the kind of thing that happens by chance. And, when you consider your social groups and your interests and your, what restaurants you go to, things like that, then those chances increase, because you're talking about a smaller and smaller group each time you consider those things. So yeah, you're right. I mean, if people are going to run into each other in a town this size,
Good to see.
and that's not any kind of,
Take care.
in and of itself, that's not any kind of a violation. That's not even a violation of protection. But what I'm looking at is not coincidental things like that. I'm looking at intentional things. So in other words, is the conduct that's alleged here the kind of thing that displays an intent to stalk another person? And by that, I mean getting in contact with them, showing up where they are, letting them basically know that they're being tracked or watched. And is that sort of conduct or activity, would that cause a reasonable person to be in fear for their safety? And I think that's what Mr. Ballou is saying, is that's what he thinks is going on. And that's the evidence that he's submitted to support that. So in any situation,
There's a
You guys
couple
are
of
on-
them that got me really good.
You guys are on fire today in the chat and even being somewhat respectable. So that's good.
I can't believe that, but okay.
That's good. Yeah, some of my didn't mean to put them on.
Is Judge trying to break it to him gently? That it's
I
gonna
think
be
so.
benign?
I think he is trying to. I don't think there's enough here, right? There's not. I mean,
Nothing we've heard. That's for damn sure. I
No.
don't know what he's seen. Again,
Right.
remember in Washington State, we don't get to
Yeah.
see the evidence.
Yeah.
To be sure, there isn't anything that crazy, but we'll see.
any person, whether or not there's any, criminal conduct going on or anything like that, they've got the right to not be contacted by another person if it's harmful to them. Anyone can do that. Just tell a person,
Very.
"Don't call me, don't come by," none of that. And if somebody honors that request, then fine, there's not a problem. But it's the contact that occurs despite that making plain that they don't want it.
Correct.
So, my concern here is that, Mr. Taylor, my concern is that what's happened here is that after the end of the relationship, as Mr. Ballou characterizes it, that there was a continuing effort to remain in contact and to display to Mr. Ballou that despite whatever he may want, that there would still be contact initiated by you. That's what I'm looking at. I'm not looking at whether you're going to show up together in the same places or that you know the same people and that sort of thing. So did you have something you needed to say?
The evidence I submitted,
Mm-hmm.
it shows like on the 12th, I wrote him an I'm done goodbye letter.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the 24th, he reaches out to me and he starts it again. He reaches out to me. He's contacting me. Like
No, I saw that.
he's
There's
done-
there's a perfect example of what Mike had just alluded to, and we need to remind ourselves sometimes because we get these, sometimes the judges will make decisions where we're like, huh? And then we have to remind ourselves we haven't seen all of it. So anyways, he just said, I mean, exactly what he just said. He said his goodbye letter, right?
Yeah.
In case he's right back there the next day, the judge's like, yep, saw it. So that's just a perfect example of
You can't say somebody's stalking you and you're afraid of them and then constantly contact them and try and be around them.
right. And write them right back and keep it going.
multiple times through the relationship before the breakup. She's said, no, don't talk to me, don't do that. And then he reaches out to me again. I think there was another one, December 31st to January 3rd, where he reached out to me and was like, hey, and I was like, why are you reaching out to me? Like, I was done. Like, why did you say hey last night?
That of this happened.
So
So it was very common throughout our friendship to hear those things. It's not like, it was never said, and then it said once, and it was said common. It was very common.
All right. And
I
I get that, Mr. Taylor, and it's not altogether uncommon to hear those things in a situation.
Sweet Tea 5, the main channel. Don't forget, Friday at 5:30 is when we do a main channel.
But don't forget, today it's Wednesday, which means we got a case. Your case exclusive channel will be having a members only. And boy, do we have some interesting conversations in there. Thank you, Sweet Tea. 25 minutes and she breaks the seal.
Yeah, the first on the new DeSanto.
Maybe last.
If somebody is being stalked, if they are, then to point to a response to a text or a response to a contact and say, well, that's evidence that they don't really want me not to contact them because they're reaching back out. That may or may not be true. It depends on the context. So I've got to decide this based on the strength of the evidence. In other words, Mr. Ballou's got to show by a preponderance of the evidence, greater weight of the evidence, that he's entitled to this order. And this is a good point because, Mr. Taylor, you're offering.
Hey, look at that. Mama, perfect.
There you go.
Got it. And my God, Mikey went blurry.
I'm getting woozy. Woozy from these comments.
You guys have broken them already. Rick's out. Okay, thank you, Deleta. 5 bones. That looks much better down there now. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
Explanations for the course of conduct that's happened after the end of the relationship that are reasonable explanations, that are non-threatening, that are just normal things that happen, as you said. And Mr. Ballou is saying no, they're not just coincidences. They're designed to basically intimidate me. That's his position. And like I said, this is a close call, and I'm mindful that if an order is to be issued, that imposes significant restrictions on another person, potentially subjecting them to criminal consequences. So that's why the law requires that the person who's asking for an order has to show by a preponderance of the evidence that they're entitled to one. And Mr. Taylor, a lot of what you say is reasonable and makes sense to me. So you've also said that you aren't interested in having any further contact with Mr. Ballou. So what I'm going to do is, on the balance here, find that Mr. Ballou has not carried the burden of showing by preponderance of the evidence that stalking has occurred. And I will decline to issue an order. So the temporary today. But I will say this.
Casey, break for a second.
Any further unwanted contact, if a pattern continues or develops that shows that Mr. Ballou is continuing to receive unwanted contact or unwanted surveillance, that would show perhaps that there is such stalking going on.
The evidence that has already been submitted has shown multiple instances of vague threats, multiple changing of phone numbers, and showing up non-coincidentally at places that I have been to. And I understand the whole small community part, but I don't intentionally. I haven't gone anywhere near him in this entire time, and yet I had multiple instances of him showing up at specific times at specific places where I am, and I've asked him to please just leave me alone.
He just needs to blow on the microphone and get something out of it.
It's true, yeah.
I'm not trying to ruin his career, but I have asked him multiple times for my parents' help with being affected by this more than anything, because they're afraid of what is, him sending pictures of my house.
He's outside, guys. So the audio, and the reason why it's like that is in our mics we get that sometimes with the compression. There's loud. You can tell there's like loud vehicles driving by, and that's what the mic's trying to get. So it's just
right to translate what he's saying. he's stunned basically that the judge has just declined this. He says there are multiple things of him outside my house, him stalking me, making threats. He's already telling the judge, I disagree with you completely.
Yeah.
Clear your throat, big boy.
Not you, Veronica. Thank you for the 2 bones. You're fine.
You're perfect, Veronica.
Whatever time when you're not supposed to be there.
I've heard from both of you. I've read all of the
And
substantial
Banzai!
information that's been filed by the in support and against the issuance of this stalking order, and I made the ruling that I have.
Actually, I think that Mikey and I have translated more of this case than we ever have in any other case.
A lot of bumps in the road. A lot of bumps in the road.
Are we surprised with the judge? Again, I guess it's got to go back to he sees a lot more and knows a lot more than we do.
Again, it has to be just because, I mean, his summation of what had happened earlier was just gobbledygook. It was nothing of any substance, any examples, anything. So again, he's trying to go back that I gave you all this evidence and you're still denying this. I can't believe you, how wrong you are, Judge.
It's like I said, it's a close case. It's kind of, you both seem equally credible to me. You both seem equally concerned about, the situation. And I also think from what I've heard that neither one of you wants any further contact except, as you said, it could coincidentally. So on that basis, based on that evidentiary standard, that's my ruling for today. But also, like I said, should be, if there are, that will do. Okay. So today.
The other guy's going to turn around and get one against him now.
That order that I would, to the effect of what I just
I can
said,
see that.
and that the clerk will file that today, and you're both able to get copies of that order from the court clerk.
He is very nice.
You can get it from the office.
many.
That's 10, Veronica, 10.
Filed and
Beautiful
available
months.
online too. So, yeah. All right.
I can request that you email to me.
Excuse me. I'm sorry, Mr. Blue. I didn't catch that last.
And online I can have them email me the ruling.
Correct. Just reach out to the clerk's office.
Thank you.
Push your
It
glasses
might
up.
be a little while because the clerk's in court with me right now, but later today.
Okay. Thank you very much.
I wouldn't put those two together as a couple, by the way.
No.
The guy
Not
was
at
really
all.
kind of suave,
Now, the next
well dressed
matter
type
we're going to
dude.
hear is
Yeah.
Jessica Casio versus
Casey
Kathleen
kind of dressed
Coleman.
like he found all of his
Morning.
clothes in the lost and found
Will be
box.
case number 24 dash.
God. Is this Julie against Jessica here?
Yeah,
All right, and
double J.
Casio, are you ready to go today?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Coleman, are you ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, can I have you both raise your right hands, please?
Uh,
And do you swear that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
That's a new one.
Yes,
We,
I do.
we ain't seen that yet.
Okay. All right, Ms. Casio, you're the petitioner here, so you get to present your case first.
Former
And
lovers.
keep in mind that everything
think so?
that has been filed
Maybe.
in this case as part of your petition is already part of the record in the case. So go ahead, Ms. Casio.
Your Honor, I just request a civil protection order be granted for me in my personal workplace from because this patient, former patient rather, Kathleen, Julie and her others, Coleman, threatened me and would say, I'm going to punch you during a visit for massage therapy and Ayurvedic care. Right. And she is under taking antidepressants. And let's see, a little unruly to find that out. And then on the day that's filed that, that I took care of her, it really scared the ever living God out of me. I took care of her for a while, and then I saw other sides of her that weren't exactly that I wasn't sure how to manage. In the court paperwork that I did file, I said I actually called Western State to find out how do I take better care of her. I even asked on her knees, hey, what happens when this happens and she said she runs and she leaves, right?
So is she
Okay.
a caretaker or?
So Julie here has been going to see Mrs. Chow, I mean Coslow, seeing her for massage therapy,
Okay.
getting the old massage. You know, I'm like a bad back, bad hip, whatever. Take it as you will.
I don't know.
Been going to see her, and I'm guessing she has become kind of crazy because she seems like in some of the sessions, I guess something happened. Maybe. Make sure you pick your Scissor Club merch up now in the store. Become part of the Scissor Club.
Tried to punch her, right? Well, the massage therapy, and saw a different side of her that nobody's ever seen.
Yeah, and they said that the other person has somebody else has seen it as well, because she said, "What do you do?" And she says, "I run."
I'd run away when this happens. This is okay. All right. This is an interesting one.
Massage gone wrong.
And I'm really more than concerned about the fact that I can't provide for her. I don't have the means to do so. I don't wish to be a part of her care plan anymore. And I don't want my places of residence have to worry about her either, as far as the fact that when she goes to like the Oli Float, or she comes to see me at my other business for, you know, and what version am I going to get of her? On certain occasions, she's been okay. And then other days, I'm like, I don't know that she's there per se. She has had, she entered in a relationship with me where she wanted me to care for her because she had, a motorcycle accident. Right. And she said that she is, you know, needing assistance and help, in which case I did work on her quite a bit. And then, you know, with body work that I actually do, it can go ahead and bring about certain kinds of emotions. However, most of the time we were fine up until I saw.
Whoa, stop.
That.
So the way she rubs you can bring about certain emotions, Creed. So I'm wondering exactly what she rubbing her, because that sounds like the way I treat you may get you there, may bring it around.
Did I miss her saying Western State?
Yeah, she called it Western State. I wasn't sure what her contacting Western State. I thought maybe that was an insurance company, but it's a mental facility allegedly.
So maybe she was contacting them to get ideas of how to handle it. Maybe I
mean, what is she doing to her that's just bringing this aggressive arousal from this woman? She want to fight somebody.
I don't have any meetings in Myrtle Beach at the time. I'm not sure what you're talking about. And did you see the police chief last name Strickland?
During watching those meetings, did you see it? This guy, Strickland. Was his name Swerve?
No, I don't think so. I don't remember, Michelle. Also, I apologize. I'm a little bit slow sometimes.
This incident really made me reconsider the relationship that I have with her, saying that she is going to punch me. I don't know if she's going to show up at a place of work or with my other colleagues, their help of what she's going to do to them. And it basically made me really unnerved as to what to do and how to be there and how to handle the situation. It's very unusual for me, actually. All right. And I just asked for that she receive medical care that she needs, that she leaves me alone in my place of work, right? And places of work for my own business and over at Oli Float.
Okay.
Well.
All right. Is there anything else?
It's different.
No, Your Honor.
All right. Then
Michael, thank you for the twofer.
I've never gotten rubbed and gotten emotional. I apparently have not been rubbed the right way.
Coleman?
Hi, Your Honor. Okay, so first thing I want to declare is that I never threatened to physically harm Miss Casio. It never happened. She did come up to my house You sound like you pay very close attention to documents, which I'm very happy to hear. So I would assume that you've reviewed that. I have a text message in there saying, you know, if things are going to hurt, I can't do it. I might have to cancel. And then I included a text message in there about, you know, could I come pick up some herbs and salves from you? And then there's a print screen on the bottom of it of her phone call to me right after that. Jessa had a habit of that where I would text her with an issue, or I couldn't make an appointment, or asking another question. And instead of ever putting anything in writing, she would call. So that was one of her.
That's maybe that's a pro move, and maybe that's why she's pulling one of these.
I'm out of here. Out of sight, out of mind.
Geared up, thank you. It's 2 for Wednesday today. I appreciate you guys. Crazy.
I was in a motorcycle accident.
In her petition was that I had called her on her phone. You'll also see a text message in there of her asking me to call her. So that was a normal method of communication. She's absolutely right.
Are you guys insinuating that that she may have been massaging and touched a penis and freaked out?
No.
Did contact one of the co-owners of Oli Float. His name is Dan. I explained to him, which honestly, when I was reading through the wax, it was actually my responsibility to let him know that he had a person in his part-time employment who they were promoting on their webpage with a direct link to a business that she's operating fraudulently. No. That is the only reason that I contacted him, because if they are promoting somebody that's operating a business fraudulently and they don't know about it, they're still liable. But if they do know about it, they're culpable. So I let him know. It took me a couple of phone calls to the front desk to get the front desk people to let him know that I was trying to contact him. You can see by the little refund check that he gave me with the nice little note that our conversation, although very sad, he felt really bad that I got like high pressure sailed into buying those floats. So he refunded me for the floats. But he's never.
Anybody have any idea what she's talking about with floats?
What are floats?
And talking about, is it like a hot? Did they use hot wax in the massaging?
I mean,
that thing?
Maybe. Why is it so waxy? Hot. Cold wax really wouldn't do anything like hitting somebody with a candle.
I get floaters every night because I stare at screens all the little floaters.
Oh, yeah, that's scary.
Oh, I am too. We're trying to keep everything together and trying to follow this.
I feel like together we can all figure this out.
Maybe. Also, why is she so worried if she's running an illegal business? Massage therapy. If she knows how to do a massage, just sit there and enjoy it.
Because I was kind of confused because she's talking about her house, coming to her house. I was like, what kind of thing are they running out of the house? But sold her some floaters.
We'll try our best here on this one. I don't know much about sensual massage. Maybe we should call up Knox. He might actually be able to help us.
Got one or two massages in his day.
He's had more massages than I think all 268 of you in the chat, including myself and the judge and these two.
He would not take responsibility for anything Jessa did as far as her massage therapy license. So, and including outside of his business, and she just stated to you, my business. She, unless she's gone in the last couple of weeks and gotten an active business license, she had no business license. So she was misrepresenting that. So long story short, I sent her an email on the 21st explaining all of this. We need to sever our relationship. This is the money I feel I'm owed back. This is why. Print screens of her business being registered as closed with the Department of Revenue. Print screens that her massage therapy license is in fact active.
Why is she doing so much digging on this lady?
What it does is say that she needs to operate under a certain set of wax and RCWs as far.
All right, I'm Googling it. Wax RCW?
Yeah. Have you ever gone to a business and then dug into their financials to find out if they
No,
were registered? And
I can't.
what
Forget
concern
that.
is it of hers?
Who's going after who, first of all?
Jessica is trying to get Julia to stop contacting her and stay away from her and stay away from her
Okay.
business.
Well,
Julie over here is just hell bent on now, I guess, just running down Jessica, as she says. I just don't get the whole. If you went there and enjoyed it, obviously she kept going back to this business. What the hell is all that?
so when I just put in wax, RCW, and massage, and these are the state of Washington things, there's RCW. So I'm guessing these are all right. So I think that has to do with you being a licensed massage therapist. See the RCW, Washington RCW.
Does that say day spa? So it's like a spa license, like you're a licensed spa.
Right. So that's what she's talking about.
Again, though, what business is it of hers?
Yeah, and why does she care? Like, what went so wrong that
Natalie?
I still don't understand about the floaters, though. What about the floaters and the wax? Yeah, so revised code of Washington is RCW. So we figured that we're getting there, guys. We're doing it together. We haven't got to any of the punching part, though, right? Yeah, she's
the threatening to punch her. I mean,
yeah, that's
was it because she hurt her or something? I need to know.
I know. Well, Savvy, do you know any of these people? Thank you for the 5 bones.
Have you ever been waxed by that lady on the other side there? I know she jumped off camera and all, but
I think that's an odd play, don't you? That hiding off camera too, while Julie sits here and speaks. I'm kind of surprised the judge hasn't said, "Hey, Jessica, move it over, honey."
Maybe she's working on a customer.
Writing documentation, treatment notes, keeping records, and on top of the fact that she's submitted these things, and I also have the RCW here covering discovery quests and compulsory orders. She has taken a document from Float, which is not where I was doing business with her. It's where I initially.
Oh, wait a minute. Big Tip Dog, welcome and good to see you.
Okay.
She just said it. I think that's the name of one of the businesses then with the float thing.
Yeah, it seems like she was going to the initial place that the Only Float or whatever the hell she was just said. And they basically sent her to Jessica. And Jessica was supposed to be one of their, I guess, licensed businesses that they advertise on their site as a, maybe they parcel out the work that they can't, take care of.
Oh, maybe like the third party.
Like a third party person, because they just put it out because they got too much business. And that she's claiming that lady isn't one of them. But I mean, again, she's coming back she keeps going to her. She's been there a bunch of times, it seems like.
They take that license stuff very serious, especially when it comes to massages. I remember
I remember I tried to start a business rubbing people and then they just shut me down 3 weeks later.
Yeah, but that was a terrible location out back of the Food Lion and the Piggly Wiggly.
Yeah.
It's not a good spot for that, but at least you tried, I guess.
On demand.
I did business with her and how I met her. But I was doing business with her at her business, which was being misrepresented as an active business without a business license. And I provided you with those 2 separate financial transactions. So she's actually taken a HIPAA protected document, which is my new client entrance form from Float, which has absolutely nothing to do with this. I've already talked to the owner. I never had to call back. He was extremely gracious. And she's misrepresenting it as her new client intake form. That form does not belong to her. It never should have left Float's HIPAA protective storage. however that may have been, whether it was in hard copy or
Okay. All right. Hold on. I found something on. I just put in. Well, I don't know how to spell Oli. I believe it's maybe. How can I make my Oli float more instead of stomping? Try to pump it. Like it brings your knees to your chest. So maybe it's how do you?
Maybe it's a thing to help with your
Oh,
back.
there we go. No, that looks like something. Huh. Well, those are
That looks like skateboarding. Oh,
Well, that
yes.
part is.
Ollie. Oli. Would it be OLE? Oli?
OLE.
Like the name?
I'm
Oli?
guessing it might be like a. No, that brings up pool floats and inflatables. Oh, so we're trying, guys.
digital. She had no right to take that and make it part of any public record. Whatever her false accusations are about my multiple personality disorder, it's all just a slanderous and retaliatory attempt to get me not to take her to small claims court, to get me not to report her to the Department of Revenue, and to make it so that she can have some kind of court order that I cannot turn her into the Department of Health.
Oh, she might have just gotten to it though, Blue. That might be what this is all about.
All this boils down to her causing problems for her. That's why Jessica brought this to. Okay.
All right. I'll be honest with you. Through this whole thing, since Julie started talking, it was almost like she was outing herself as being a stalker. I mean, you guys made some jokes in the chat about, like pulling her middle school exam or whatever. I mean, seriously, she has done her research. Now I'm starting to see.
Okay, now that this is all, Jessica trying to come back at her for getting her in trouble.
Oh, wait a minute. Savvy might have helped us. You got to be from the county to figure it out. OLY.
There you go. There you go. Okay, they used to have one of these Epsom salt therapy things here in my town.
All right. Here we go. All right. Interesting.
You'd pay to go soak in these tubs.
All right. All right. Great job, Savvy.
Savvy, you are on it.
Can't use HIPAA to protect from it. Yeah, but I mean, if she's unlicensed, if she's working,
she shouldn't have access to it.
Yeah, if she's a legit. If she ain't licensed, she don't have legit business, and she has absolutely no business to have protected information, as they say. Interesting.
And there's one of the main pieces of evidence there is that she backdated.
Tiny Piggy, thank you for your $2 hair. Late fee. Hold on. I want to see what she just said.
To a doctor who, that's not even my doctor's name. In her heading, she puts her place of business, Roadmap Therapeutics, and Olifloat's contact information in her header, writes a letter to a doctor that doesn't even exist. I mean, at least not in my world, and dates it on the 19th. And I have proof in there that she texted me on the 22nd asking me did I want to meet her in the pool or did I want to meet her down at her office? Now, does that sound like somebody who's afraid I'm going to hit them? This is all just retaliation. That's all.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay. No, I know Ms. Coleman, I know you've submitted quite a lot of information here about issues like licensing and whether, you may have a claim for damages against Ms. Casio. I get that you're telling me that. I'm just making it clear that at this point in the context of this hearing, this court's not going to decide the merits of any of those issues.
Absolutely.
But I understand that you're telling me those things in order to demonstrate that you believe that these are the things that are motivating Ms. Casio to file this action against you, and that in reality, you haven't made any threats to her or given her any cause to be afraid of you other than these legal issues that you are advancing as other potential causes of action. I understand that claim. So, and once again, you've heard me say this before earlier this morning that, in order to prevail on a anti-harassment claim and get an order granted, a person who petitions for an order has to be able to show by a preponderance of the evidence that they're entitled to one. In this case, the order that Ms. Casio has requested is an anti-harassment order, and those are based on and in order to get one, a person has to show that there's been a course of conduct directed against them that's detrimental to their physical or mental well-being, and that conduct serves no lawful purpose and is being done, is having the effect on their mental or physical well-being that a reasonable person would suffer. And looking at this case when the petition came in, it's understandable to me why the court would grant a temporary order based on the allegations, but like everything else, there's at least two sides to every story, which is why we have hearings like this, so that we hear everybody's side of the story in order to make a decision. And here today, now we've also heard from Ms. Coleman, and I am satisfied with the explanations that Ms. Coleman has given, that her actions in regard to Ms. Casio are not harassment, and that whether or not there's any merit to any of these claims, that there are potential actions for damages, or that Ms. Casio is operating outside of the law in terms of business licensing or medical records privacy. No ruling on that issue. However, it certainly explains Ms. Coleman's actions, and so I'm going to find that there has been no harassment here and deny the petition for an anti-harassment order.
Right. Your Honor, may I ask you a question? And you may not be able to answer it.
It's possible. You can always ask, but I will do my best.
She done bounced.
Yes, it did.
I did not file a anti-harassment petition in return and stuff. I just figured that would all look like retaliation on my part. But I also hadn't seen all these documents with my personal medical information, or the fact that she would actually like write a fictitious letter to somebody who doesn't even exist and include it in part of the court record just to backdate something. Now I am a little bit concerned that she may continue to try and do things like that. Can you just tell her, knock it off, and then we can be done with this and I can go ahead with small claims court? Or I don't know.
Knock it off.
You were right the first time. I can't give you any advice.
Okay. Sorry. All right. Got it.
Judge, are you single? Looking to mingle? Can I ask you that question?
You can leave now, Julie.
Julie, we're done.
Okay, that's it for today, Ms. Coleman.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate it.
Okay. All right. Hold on a second.
So
hold on. Kat, the verdict is that there just wasn't any, For that, though, there's other things happening here within this case, and that Julie needs, I almost think that she needs to go and, Mike, follow me on this one. A Mystic Lady kind of sort of brought this up. Okay. Is it possible that this lady, the one that, not Julie, the other one that just dipped out,
Miss Cole, Jessica.
Yeah. Is it possible that she may have either inadvertently or actually tried to sell her like a spa package, or you should be doing this, or giving some sort of medical advice based on the paperwork and the stuff that she has seen, allegedly illegally, if she was not licensed and she's not a real business? And if she's taking that medical stuff and saying, well, you should do this and this and this because of that, then there's a case there for Julie.
Absolutely, because she sold her floats. When we think of floats, we thought about floaties and things like that. That's not it. Floats are the time spent in the tub thing with the Epsom salt so that you're floating. Just like Savvy had sent the thing over as like $90 for 45 minutes.
Right.
She sold her on all these things. Well, through selling her on all these things, she took for granted, okay, you know what you're talking about, and this must be what I need.
And thought that she is a trained
licensed
professional, licensed, everything like that.
In the end, she wasn't. She was actually just,
that could be.
Yeah.
I mean, whether it's out of her pocket or insurance, either way, if you're suggesting this stuff, especially based off of paperwork that, again, if she is she didn't, she didn't like pop out of the, first of all, she hid through the whole thing.
Yeah, she should have. First thing she should have been like, look, here's my scroll.
I'm licensed
with my business license on it.
That's what I do.
Let me go ahead and shut that down now, since that's probably one of her things.
Yeah.
She was probably sold. She sold them on that. That's why that business refunded her all the floats she had purchased from her, because they said, oh hell, allegedly now we might be in trouble too, because we've sent her, this is one of our, like, I'm guessing it was like one of their
third
partners.
party,
one of our business partners here. You can go to her for massage, you come to us for your floats.
I got that feel of a multi-level marketing / pyramid scheme, but it's not a pyramid.
It's just
it's MLM.
It's a triangle.
Go back and watch it. A couple of lots of confusing shit happening today. This is one of the most confusing episodes. Hopefully we were able to pick it apart enough to figure out what was going on. But yeah, I think I think that Julie's got a chance. Again, if it is true and she's not licensed and all that, Julie's got a chance to make a little bit of money there.
Yeah. A little bit.
And she did say, she's concerned also because obviously this is a practice. This is something that goes on to other people. It's an interesting one. Very interesting.
She may have something there. We'll see. Well, we won't see, but if something else comes of it.
I mean, there's a lot of, and she had started out. That's another part of why I was confused, because she was talking about how she was like upselling shit to her. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Interesting. That was two couple of good cases. It's
almost cases and mysteries all at the same time.
Right. Yeah, same here. But that was interesting. All right.
By the way, again, new cases coming tomorrow from Judge DeSanto. But until then, at 3 p.m. today, you'll be able to go over and watch a case. A great case. It's a classic case at this point, I guess. I don't know. We haven't watched it before on our channel. So go over there and check out this lady that I think tried to play on the judge's sympathy a little bit by showing up on some crutches. But you had to see if that worked out well for her or not. When you say, I can't pay for a tether. I know you said I needed one, but I just can't afford that right now.
Catherine, I think that I think that was bullshit. I think
she was trying to make her sound crazy.
Yeah.
So that nobody would believe her.
Right.
What better way to discredit someone by saying they were crazy and threatened to hit you and all this other stuff? I didn't believe Jessica for a second.
Yeah, I think that was all bullshit. I don't think that she tried to hit anything. And look how well she got us in the beginning. We're kind of think Julie.
Oh yeah, we were like, yep, she's crazy as hell. Look at her.
Yeah. Oh, look at Julie.
Motorcycle mama.
Yeah, I think the other one made that up to try to throw off the judge and throw us off of the case of what was actually happening with the actual meat.
Especially her not bringing up at all that she was a licensed business, that she
was,
or anything.
You would stop it in its tracks to be, I am licensed. That's the first thing that you say.
Yeah, you're running a business. You want everybody to know you're legit.
Damn. Anyways, well, that was fun. Well, let me say thank you to all of you. I'm definitely looking forward to DeSanto coming back, and that's why the monetary monorail is named that. The new DeSanto videos tomorrow. Express. Sweet tea, thank you. With 5 big blessings to the main channel, I do believe. Or it was, I don't remember.
Doesn't matter. It was all worthwhile.
Okie, thank you. Veronica Bonsai, Michael Flusha, known funder. I like that. Kirna, thank you. Savvy, super savvy. Tiny Piggy, savvy again. Floating monies, all that. Appreciate you guys a ton. And
Yeah,
We
a
had
great,
four-
exciting day that continues though, Creed. At 4:05, we'll have Wild Woman Wednesday. You don't want to miss it.
favorite day of the week.
There's some weird stuff going on, so make sure you're there for that. Again, 3 p.m., about an hour from now. Come hang out. We're going to be watching some Judge DeSanto classic clips at this point because the new ones are starting tomorrow. That's about it. Creed.
And 5:30 East for We Got a Case members only.
You don't want to miss that. You don't. I promise. Stay safe, stay hard, stay tuned because you never know what we'll do next. Bye. Ta-da.